Good evening and welcome to the Breed Middle School Softball Park as the St. Mary's Spartans are hosting the Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham Cougars. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue. Up in the perch, we got our crew from Classical. I want to say thanks to Matthew and KJ for coming out and filming some interleague softball. St. Mary's standing at the number 1 seed in Division III softball, while Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham is at the 16 seed in Division II. And we should have a really good game for you guys tonight. I want to say thanks to you to tuning in to Lynn Educational Television. As St. Mary's takes the field, we want to remind you, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening within the schools here in the city of Lynn. And on the mound today, for the St. Mary's Spartans, we've got hold on. Eliza Crean Oviedo. Oviedo coming in, starting at the pitching position today, and catching for her is going to be Roma Braid. And the St. Mary's Spartans right now standing at a record of 8 wins and 2 losses. Their last game, a W against Woburn, and they got to head to Cardinal Spellman, going to Brockton later on this week. But today we got 2 very good softball teams facing off here in the city of Lynn. Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham, standing right now at a record of 7-4. Their last game, a loss to Abington. And their next game, they're going over to Ursuline to play against those guys. Starting off at the pitching position for Notre Dame Academy, we got Shannon McLeod. Catching Shannon McLeod will be Hannah Goffier. Again, I'm Sean Donahue, announcer for Lynn Educational Television. We're happy you decided to tune in for some high school softball. Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham will lead it off. Claire Ferrara up to bat first. Ferrara is playing in the first base position. Eliza Crean Oviedo on the mound. First pitch gets a piece of it. Crean Oviedo gets the call. High fly ball, infield, under it. The second baseman for St. Mary's cleaning it up. Smooth as could be, Michaela Walker. Good heads-up play there by Walker. Next up to bat for Notre Dame Academy, Molly Beal. Beal showing bunt. Beal playing in the shortstop position today. The pitch showing bunt again. Coming up and cleaning it up. The third baseman for St. Mary's, Ashanti Pardelia. Shannon McLeod, next batter in line for the Cougars. 2 outs right now. Top of the first here on this beautiful May evening. Fouled back along the third baseline. Crean Oviedo gets the call from Braid, delivers low and outside. The pitch, just a little low for the Blues' liking. McLeod awaiting the pitch from Crean Oviedo. Delivers a strike. The pitch fouled out along the first baseline. Green Oviedo hoping to deliver the third strike here to end the top of the first for the Cougars. So you get the call from Braid and agree to it. Set the delivery. High and outside. And McLeod will take her base. Olivia Mainville up next for the Cougars. Mainville playing in the second base position for Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. Green Oviedo with the pitch. Ball. Braid losing a bit of control of that, able to scoop it up and recover cleanly to hold McLeod over at first. Blue comes out to have a quick discussion with Green Oviedo, possibly about maybe getting set. So a couple great plays for the St. Mary's defense. Pardelia coming up on the bunt. Throwing out Molly Beal at first. Michaela Walker had a nice little pop fly out. Wild pitch from Green Oviedo is going to give the go-ahead for McLeod to take second. So 1 on, 1 out. And that 1 on happens to be in scoring position at second. Olivia Mainville awaits the pitch. Gets caught looking there. Green Oviedo delivers another ball. 2 walks here on the top of the first as she tries to find her groove. And Frankie McCardle up to bat next. McCardle playing in the left field position for the Cougars. 2 outs and 2 on here in the top of the first. As Braid comes up and has a quick conversation with Green Oviedo. We see the rest of the infield come in and try to encourage her to take some time and kick some dirt around. I want to say thanks to those who are tuning in to Watchland Educational Television as we're hosting Interleague Softball here in the city of Lynn, Massachusetts. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue, and we got a pretty high-stakes matchup here. St. Mary's is sitting pretty in the first seed according to the MIAA Division III Softball Power Rankings. Last game for the Spartans was against Woburn. They walked away with a victory. Right now, they're standing at a record of 8-2. Frankie McCardle awaits the pitch. Green Oviedo delivering a strike. 2 down, 2 strikes. St. Mary's trying to get out of this one without giving up any runs. Swing and a miss. And could have been off on the strike count. Is the batter still up there? Braid gives the signal. Green Oviedo agrees, just a bit outside. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and she goes down swinging. The first strikeout of the game so far for Green Oviedo. So at the end of the top of the first, we're still boasting a score of 0-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the first inning. Leading off for the Spartans, wearing number 4, Brooke Maloney. Maloney playing in the center field position. The Spartans' first at-bat of the game, bottom of the first. Pitching for the Cougars, Shannon McLeod. Catching her is Hannah Gauthier. Maloney gets caught looking there. 1-1 count. The pitch low and outside. McLeod gets a call from Gauthier. And Maloney won't fall for the bait there. Maloney awaiting the pitch from McLeod. Show and bunt, pulling it back for the 4th ball and a walk in her first at-bat. Michaela Walker, the second baseman for the Spartans, had a good play in the top of the first. Walker wearing 11. No outs, 1 on for the Spartans, showing bunt. And Maloney gives a pretty liberal lead from first base. Caught the attention of the pitcher, McLeod, as well as Hannah Gauthier. Walker steps into the box, awaits the pitch from McLeod. The delivery showing bunt again. And Maloney going to go to second, get there safely. Maloney still in second after the walk. Walker takes a cut there and goes down swinging. First strikeout of the day for McLeod. 1 out, 1 on in scoring position. And Gabby Marischal stepping up to the plate for the Spartans. Marischal playing in the left field position. High and outside. And Maloney with another hefty lead. She's got the speed to get to anywhere she really wants. The center fielder has done a great job for the Spartans this year. The pitch fouled off back behind the first baseline. That'll send Maloney back. McLeod awaiting the call from Gauthier and has it. Marischal takes a cut there. Takes the strike. Pitch gets a piece of that one right up over McLeod. And infield, Maloney going to hang up at third. Marischal gets to first base with a stand-up single. Next up to bat, the first baseman. for St. Mary's. Lori Suriel. Lori Suriel. As I pronounced her name all wrong throughout the hockey season. And Marichal is going to go to second. Get there safely. So Marichal stands at second after the steal. Maloney over at third. One out. Lori Suriel fouls that one back. Gauthier retrieves it and gets it over to McLeod. McLeod awaiting the call from Gauthier. Suriel drives that one over to the shortstop position. And a botched play results in a 2-run double. Suriel getting on a second after the error. Marichal scores, as well as Maloney. And Suriel is going to walk away with 2 RBIs after a first at-bat. Olivia DeSessa, the next batter for the Spartans. DeSessa playing in at the shortstop position for the Spartans, awaiting the pitch. Check swing there. Call strike by the guy in blue. Well, 2 runs so far for the Spartans. 1 out and 1 in scoring position at second. Suriel taking a hefty lead, be forced back after the foul. DeSessa stepping into the box, awaiting the pitch from McLeod. Gauthier set. McLeod gets the call. DeSessa complimented on her ability to see balls and strikes, and she doesn't take the bait there. High and away. Same place. DeSessa awaiting the pitch from McLeod. McLeod gets the call from Gauthier. The pitch gets her looking on strike 3. 2 strikeouts on the day for the Cougars pitching club. Ashanti Pardelia up next for the Spartans. Pardelia playing in at the third base position for St. Mary's. 2 outs for the Spartans, 1 on scoring position at second. And Suriel certainly was going for third there. That one fouled away by Pardelia. So she'll be forced back to second yet again. McLeod with the pitch and catches Pardelia swinging. 2 strikes on the third baseman out of St. Mary's. 2 outs, 1 in scoring position at second. Shot fair into foul over the third baseline. Missed it by about 6 inches. Pardelia making it tough on McLeod right now. The pitch low and in the dirt. And Suriel's going to take third with ease. So Suriel sitting at third base after the steal. Pretty good inning. for the right fielder. Fired back across the first base line. Foul ball there. McLeod with the pitch. Catches her swinging, third strikeout of the game. And Suriel will be hung up at third. So, after one, the Spartans are leading the Cougars 2-0. Top of the second, Spartans leading 2-0 over the Cougars. Shot over along the third base line. That'll bounce foul. Leading off for Notre Dame Academy here in the top of the second, Hannah Gauthier, the catcher. 0-1 count so far. Eliza Crean Oviedo awaits the call from Roma Braid. Delivering a strike, 0-2. Crean Oviedo with one strikeout so far. Gets called for a ball there. Braid gets the call to Crean Oviedo. The delivery. Shot into the dirt. Picked up by third base. Thrown over to first. Not fielded clean enough. But able to recover and keep Gauthier at first with a single. Pardelia got to that ball as fast as you could. Threw it the distance of the infield, just a bit high and a little out of reach for Riley Williams. Shot in the dirt. Opportunity there for Roma Braid to throw Gauthier out at second on the steal, and it got just about a second late. Gauthier is going to get a stolen base here. The top of the second. Colleen D, the right fielder, up to bat for the Cougars, showing bunt. Pardelia doing a good job at closing in anytime those batters show bunt. Not sure they're going to get much of an angle there on the third base line when it comes to bunting. Pardelia's got the speed to get there, and she's certainly got the arm strength to deliver. Nice little shot there. Colleen D not falling for it. Won't take the bait. No outs, one in scoring position at second. D awaits the pitch. Goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day so far for Crean Oviedo. One out here for the Cougars. Sophia Dow, the third baseman for the Cougars, up at bat, her first of the day. Showing bunt. And Pardelia gets there in time, but can't get it to first cleanly. And that's going to give Gauthier the go-ahead run. So closing in on the Spartans here in the top of the second are the Cougars. Colleen D seeing the strikeout in the last at-bat, but Sophia Dow putting the pressure back onto the Spartans with a single. Pardelia taking some time to, what I would assume is pay her respects to the pitcher and catcher after 2 tough plays. Leaves you to think on whether or not the Cougars are going to continue to try to bunt along the third base line, as they've had some success here in the top of the second. Aaron Krall up to bat. Krall showing bunt. Braid trying to throw out Dow at first after a hefty lead. Just a message, hey, we see you over there, you know. Pitch, high and outside. Braid thrown back to first. Trying to keep Dow on the bag. Krall, the center fielder for the Cougars, waiting for the pitch. Oviedo, delivers. Foul back along the first baseline into the Cougars dugout. Oviedo says, hey, it's right there. I really like that ball. Can we get that one back? And the guy in blue shows her the courtesy to do so. Krall awaiting the pitch. Delivers. And one of the most accurate balls we've seen today. And Krall goes down swinging, second out of the inning, and the third strikeout of the day for Oviedo. Back to the top of the Cougars lineup, Claire Ferrara up to bat for the Cougars. 5th batter of the inning. 2 outs, 1 on first. Pop fly back along the third baseline. That'll fall foul by a mile. Braid gets the call to Oviedo. Ferrara waits the delivery. Low and inside. One and one. Ferrara with the delivery, sneaks that one past Oviedo, but it's going to be scooped up by the St. Mary's second baseman and tagged out for the force out at second. Michaela Walker with a good heads-up play there. So the Spartans able to hold the Cougars to 1 run here in the top of the second. We'll be back with the bottom of the inning. And we're back, bottom of the second. Leading off for the Spartans, Roma Braid. Braid's first at bat of the game today. She awaits the pitch from McLeod. High and outside. That one will sail over the head of Gauthier and force her back to retrieve it. 1-0 count. Two 2-0. Gauthier gets the call to McLeod. She agrees. 3-0. Braid, the catcher for the Spartans, had an opportunity to pick a base runner off at second. Got there about a half a nanosecond too late. The delivery catching Braid looking. 3-1 count. Braid gets a piece of that one. Full count. Roma Braid stepping into the batter's box, awaiting the pitch from McLeod, and she'll take her base. So Braid gets on. Riley Williams up to bat next for the Spartans. Williams playing in the first base position. And it looks like St. Mary's is going to send a pinch runner in. I'll get a number for you on that player next. Williams, the lefty, awaiting the delivery from McLeod, showing bunt. Pop fly caught for an easy out. The first of the inning for St. Mary's. Alyssa Solie, the next batter. One out for the Spartans, one on first. The pitch screaming in for a strike. And there goes Braid. Will they switch up the lineup? Chloe Salona, the pinch runner. We finally got a number on her. Pretty sure Dad's here. We'll keep an eye on that guy for any stats. Salona, the pinch runner for Braid. And Salona's got the speed. The pitch catches her swinging. And Solie headed back to the dugout with a strikeout. 4 on the day so far for Shannon McLeod. Back to the top of the Spartans lineup, Brooke Maloney, the center fielder, who did us a solid and retrieved deep fly ball into left field. Does she have time to get under it? No, she doesn't. Falls foul along the third baseline. Maloney gracious enough to retrieve an empty Diet Coke can tossed onto the field accidentally by one of our camera personnel here. Two outs, one at second. Salona with a hefty lead. Choppy ball hit into the third base area. Tossed over to first. Safe at first. Thrown out is Salona, who's trying to take and round third for a go-ahead run. And that'll be the third out of the inning. Spartans held the zip there. So at the end of 2, St. Mary's 2 runs against Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham's 1. We'll be back with the top of the third. Leading off for the Cougars in the top of the third, Molly Beal. Show and bunt. Pardelia flying in, trying to redeem herself after the 2 errors in the second inning, which led to Notre Dame Academy getting 1 run. Green Oviedo and Pardelia gets there in time. And it's all of a sudden deja vu here at the Breed Middle School softball field, as we just saw something similar to that happen at the conclusion of the last half inning. So Beal will fly out, and next up to bat, Shannon McLeod, the pitcher for the Cougars. 1 out, nobody on. The delivery from Green Oviedo. Just a bit low for the Blues' liking. 1-0 count. Braid gets the call to Crean Oviedo. The delivery, 2-0. Notre Dame standing at a record of 7-4. Their last game, a loss to Abington. They're hungry to walk away with a W today. 2-1 count here for McLeod. Pop fly will stay in the infield, right under the second baseman for St. Mary's. Cleaned up and sent back to the bench thanks to Michaela Walker. Well, that's 2 flyouts in the infield this inning for the Cougars. McLeod with a walk in her first at-bat. Olivia Mainville, the next batter. 0-1 count. 2 outs, nobody on for the Cougars. Crean Oviedo awaiting the call from Braid. Delivery. 1-0, 1-1 count. Crean Oviedo gets the ball, ground right back to her, tosses it over to first for the 3rd out. So 2 flyouts and a ground out. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars, and the Spartans will get back to work offensively. We're still at a 2-1 game here. Spartans leading over the Cougars. Bottom of the 3rd here, Michaela Walker leading off for the Spartans. Walker with a strikeout in her first at-bat. Fouls that one back along the first baseline. Walker slowing things down, taking her time, trying to put the pressure on McLeod. High and away. That one sails out of possession for Gauthier. She'll be forced to retrieve that one and get it back to McLeod. Gauthier delivers the signal. McLeod agrees. As Walker awaits, takes a cut there, strike call. 2-1 count. And she catches a strikeout there. Must have been off on the call. Walker goes down looking. 5th strikeout of the day for McLeod. Gabby Marichal back up to the bat. Marichal with a single in her first at-bat and stole second. Marichal playing in the left field position today. Couple pop flies in her area, but all a little too far foul. Shot over there, not fielded cleanly by the shortstop out of Notre Dame Academy. And that error is going to go to Molly Beal. So Marichal gets on to first after the error. And Lori Suriel up to bat yet again. Suriel had a double in her last at-bat, earned 2 RBIs, and brought St. Mary's to a 2-run lead in the first inning. McLeod bringing the smoke. Her first pitch to Suriel, a strike straight down the middle. 1 out so far for the Spartans, 1 on first. Suriel, the right fielder for St. Mary's, awaits it. The wild pitch from McLeod results in an easy stolen base for Gabby Marichal, her 2nd of the day. Suriel takes her time to get back into the box. McLeod awaits the call from Gauthier. The delivery. Strike. Catches Suriel looking. The pitch from McLeod. Suriel gets a piece of that one, fouls it back. Suriel steps back into the batter's box, awaiting the delivery from McLeod. Pitch, strike three. She goes down swinging. 2 outs. 2 strikeouts this inning for the Spartans. Olivia DeSessa up to bat next. DeSessa trying to make up for the strikeout. 2 outs, 1 on at second. And Marichal took off like she was going. Decided to head back. Strike. 6 strikeouts on the day so far from McLeod. And McLeod delivers, fouled back along the back area. Two outs, 1 on at 2. As we await the delivery from McLeod. Shot back towards the dugout of Notre Dame Academy. And DeSessa stays alive. Pitch, shot, choppy, over to the second baseman for the 3rd out of the inning. And Notre Dame Academy able to hold the Spartans to no runs there. And we're still at a 2-1 lead for the Spartans. We'll be back with the top of the next inning. Welcome back. Spartans leading 2-1 right now over Notre Dame Academy. Frankie McCardle up to bat for the Cougars here in the top of the 4th. McCardle with a strikeout in her first at bat. The pitch from Green Oviedo, a bit wild, and forces McCardle to jump out of the way. Green Oviedo with the delivery, right on target for a strike. St. Mary's with a 3-up, 3-down inning. Last time they were on defense. Won't look that way this time. McCardle takes her base after the 4th ball is delivered. Hannah Gauthier, the catcher for Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. Up next, a single and a stolen base in her last at-bat. Green Oviedo delivers. Right on target for a strike. 0-1 count. swing and a miss. Strike two. Gauthier awaiting the pitch from Green Oviedo. The delivery. Choppy shot over to Pardilla, and able to get the force out at second. Gauthier will be sitting pretty at first. So McCardle thrown out at second. Pardilla having a game for herself defensively. A couple of tough throws over to first after a bunt. It looks like she's gained her composure back. So one out, showing bunt here, fouls that one away. Pardilla shoots to the eye. If you don't know, I'm pretty good at these bunts along the third baseline type of thing. Colleen D, the batter for the Cougars. D, a strikeout in her last at-bat, showing bunt here. That one falls foul, 2 strikes. One out so far for the Cougars here in the top of the fourth. Last run scored for the Cougars was in the second inning. Bringing the steam there, just a little off target. D making Green Oviedo work for this one. Braid comes out to try to settle Eliza Green Oviedo down. And Colleen D goes down swinging. First strikeout of the inning, second out of the inning for the Cougars. Fourth strikeout of the day so far for Green Oviedo. Right on target, right down the middle. Sophia Dow takes her time to compose herself, steps out of the box, trying to slow things down a bit. Green Oviedo finding a groove. Shot. Braid throws it back to first. After what seemed like it was going to be an attempt to steal. The pitch is a strike. And that's the third out of the inning. Sophia Dow goes down swinging. St. Mary's still leading 2-1. Welcome back, bottom of the fourth here. Leading off for the Spartans, Pardilla, the third baseman for St. Mary's. Strikeout in her last at-bat. And McLeod has struck out 6 Spartans today. 1-0 count. Shanti Pardilla waits a shot. Ground ball over to the shortstop. Can she get to first in time? And she does for single. Pardilla able to make the adjustment and get on a base after her first at-bat being a strikeout. Roma Braid up to bat next. Braid, the catcher, had a walk, and then Salona came in to help pinch run, stole second in the second inning. And it looks like we'll get a pinch hitter here. Who it is at first, we'll get that for you soon. I think I see number 7. If that's the case, it's Audrey Zink. I think a pretty solid hockey player for the Spartans as well. Roma Braid showing bunt. Hit along the third baseline. And the pinch runner for Pardelia will get on to second safely. And I believe we've got number 15, Abby Sousa. So that's Abby Sousa, the pinch runner for Pardelia. Showing bunt here, Riley Williams. And it looks like Williams will make the sacrifice bunt, get tossed out at first. But that puts two in scoring position for the Spartans. So Lee up to bat next for the Spartans. A strikeout in her last at bat. Chippy shot. It's going to stay fair. And McLeod comes up, scoops it, and tosses Solie out at first for the second out of the inning. So back to the top of the lineup for the Spartans, Brooke Maloney coming up to bat for her third at bat. A walk in her first, and tossed out at first in her second at bat. Gets a good shot of that one deep into left field, over the head of the left fielder. That's going to send her to third. We got one base runner in already, backed up by McLeod, and she's going to have a triple on that one. And that one's going to send both Pardelia's pinch runner and Braid's pinch runner in for two more. So 4-1 for Classical. After the triple, Michaela Walker will come in for the Spartans. Spartans having an inning for themselves. So both runs scored here off the triple from Brooke Maloney. Shot over to the second baseman, scooped up and tossed out at first, and that'll be the end of the inning. The Spartans walk away with two more runs, and they lead 4-1 over the Cougars. We'll be back after this break. All right, top of the fifth here. Erin Craw leading it off for the Cougars. Craw with a shot. Scooped up by the shortstop for St. Mary's, and a clean delivery to first base results in the first out of the inning. So another great play by the St. Mary's infield. Olivia DeSessa there on the ground ball and throw out at first. Green Oviedo delivers, fouled away by Claire Ferrara. Ferrara's third at bat of the inning. Of the game. Still hoping to get on the base. Green Oviedo delivers a second strike. 5 strikeouts on the day so far for Eliza Green Oviedo. The delivery. Pop fly into center field, and the left fielder will come over and clean it on up for the second out at the top of the fifth. So Erin Crawl goes down, and Claire Ferrara there next. Bally Beal up to bat next for the Cougars. Great job by Gabby Marichal closing in on that one. Catching the second out. Beal showing bunt. Ardelia coming up to try to clean it up, but not required to as that one falls foul. Cougars in a 3-run deficit here. The pitch, showing bunt again. Ardelia gets to it, but after it, rolls foul. And a third strike results in the third out of the inning. Eliza Crean Oviedo, 6 strikeouts on the day so far, keeping the Cougars at bay there. No runs scored. The Spartans still leading 4-1. Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th here. Gabby Marichal leading off for the Spartans, taking a strike there. Marichal having a great defensive play, closing in between center and left field for the second out of the last inning. Top of the 5th, the Spartans leading 4-1 over the Cougars. The Spartans trying to maintain that number 1 seed in the Division III MIAA power rankings. Last W was against Woburn last week, and they got Cardinal Spellman, a CCL team, later on. Marishal's third at-bat of the game. She's got 2 singles and 2 stolen bases in her first 2 at-bats. McLeod gets the call from Gauthier. The delivery. Catches that one, ground ball back to McLeod. And a quick knockdown out as Gabby Marichal is thrown out at first. Lori Surreal up to bat next. I owe it to this kid to spend extra time on the name as she dealt with me mispronouncing her name all hockey season. So Lori Surreal, let's see it, kid. She had a double in her first at-bat, then stole third after earning herself an RBI. So Real steps into the batter's box awaiting the delivery from McLeod. Shot, choppy, ground ball over to the first baseline, scooped up by the second baseman and thrown out at first for the second out of the inning. Next up to bat, Olivia DeSessa. DeSessa having a tough time getting on today. Saw a strikeout in her first at-bat and was tossed out. Or rather, base runner advancing from first was tossed out and the force out at second. And that would end the inning in the third. DeSessa awaiting the pitch from McLeod. McLeod gets the call from Gauthier. The delivery. High and outside. McLeod with the delivery. Same location. DeSessa complimented on her ability to see balls and strikes as she doesn't take the bait on that one. A shot fouled away back towards the Cougars' dugout. And that ball came up with a velocity of about 107 miles per hour. Thank God for fences. Short, choppy ground ball, scooped up by the second baseman for the Cougars, and that'll be the final out of the inning. So the Spartans held at bay. They'll stay with 4, and the Cougars will stay with 1, hoping to improve in the next inning. We'll be back. And we're back here. Top of the 6th inning. Shannon McLeod up to bat. McLeod, the pitcher for the Cougars today, having herself a pretty decent game. The Spartans just capitalizing. A couple sacrifice bunts led to base runners advancing to second and third. The Spartans able to gain 2 runs in their first inning and then 2 more in the third. Since then, they've been scoreless. The Cougars scored 1 in the second, and since then they've been in a bit of a drought. Let's see if McLeod can give any credence to the Cougars' 16th seed rating in the MIAA Division II softball power rankings. Crean Oviedo delivering a strike with a little bit of steam on that one, as we see a pitcher versus pitcher matchup. High ball hit to the infield. Under it is Pardelia. First out of the inning. And McLeod sent back to the bench. Olivia Mainville up to bat next for the Cougars. Mainville with a walk in her first at-bat and a ground out in her second. This is her third at-bat of the game. Hits that one. Sails past the shortstop for St. Mary's. Olivia DeSessa just couldn't get enough on it. Laid out for it. Brooke Maloney comes in, scoops it up. Holds Mainville at first after the single. Frankie McCardle up to bat next. McCardle with a walk in her last at bat, tossed out at second after a hit from Gauthier. A strikeout in her first. Walked in her second at bat. The pitch from Crean Oviedo. Far and outside. McCardle awaits the delivery. Crean Oviedo high and outside. The pitch fouled back behind Roma Braid. And Olivia Mainville won't budge an inch from the bag at first base, as Notre Dame's got a solid hole to dig themselves out of. Any base runners on right now are invaluable. Fouled back behind Roma Braid. And a little bit of movement from Mainville there on that one, but not showing too much intention to move. Crean Oviedo gets the call from Braid. The delivery. McCardle shot fouled back once again, making Crean Oviedo work for it on this one. Six strikeouts on the day for Eliza Crean Oviedo. Shot over along the first baseline. Pardelia scoops it up. Can't get it to second cleanly. So that'll put a base runner on second. And McCardle will get to first cleanly. And a good job by Lori Suriel to come up and back up that attempt. Great play by Pardilla. Kid's got great reaction time, and she's usually on target. Today, you can see she's kind of in her own head in the beginning of the game. Had a couple easy outs at first, but pretty solid throws, just the accuracy a little bit too high. So the infield will take some time and remind each other on what their objective is for today. That number 1 seed spot is a precious thing to hold, and every game matters as you're holding it. 2 on, 1 out. Hannah Gauthier, the batter. Short, choppy ground ball rolls foul outside the third baseline. Gauthier, the catcher for the Cougars. Green Ovieto's pitch just a little wide for the liking of the blue. Hannah Gauthier awaiting the delivery. Same location for Green Oviedo. I want to say thanks to those who are tuning in to Lynn Educational Television. We got our crew from Classical up in the perch today. KJ and Matthew bringing these smooth and steady shots. Right where she wants it. Strike 2. 6 Ks on the day for Eliza Green Oviedo. Irma Braid gives her the call that she wants. Gauthier set in the box, the delivery. Short, choppy ground ball back to Green Oviedo, trying to force the out at third. And trying to find Pardilla. Pardilla just not able to field that one cleanly. And this is exactly what the Spartans were hoping to avoid late in the game. Loaded bases, 1 out. And they're just chipping away at Eliza Green Oviedo. Like we just said, she's got 6 Ks on the day. Last game Notre Dame Academy played was versus Abington. They walked away with a loss, and they are all sorts of excited to improve their record from 7-4 to 8-4. But they got a 3-run deficit to get themselves out of, and with loaded bases, that is looking more and more achievable as the innings sail by. So the outfield comes together as well as the infield. And trying to chalk it up with Eliza Green Oviedo to get out of this inning. The pitch, just a bit high, showing bunt. The pitch showing bunt again. Pardilla coming up. She's been outstanding on the bunts today. Colleen D., the batter for Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. And the Blues got to get back together for a reminder on the count. And we don't have that luxury over here in center field, but I wish the guy would have said it a little louder, if I'm not going to lie. Colleen D. awaiting the pitch from Eliza Green Oviedo, showing bunt again. Pulling that one back. Umpire checks with the ump at third base to confirm a ball. The delivery. Just a bit outside. D with 2 of the 6 strikeouts. Eliza Creen Oviedo has delivered today to the Cougars. Catches a third there. Creen Oviedo striking out Colleen D for the 3rd time today. Next up to bat, Sophia Dow. Dow a strikeout in her last at bat. 7 on the day so far for Creen Oviedo today. 2 outs for the Cougars. And working our way to the bottom of the lineup, the delivery. Smoking and right on target. Loaded bases, 2 outs here. And Sophia Dow, the 3rd baseman, one of the last obstacles in the way of Eliza Creen Oviedo in getting out of the 6th inning. The pitch, swing and a miss. Braid gets the call. Creen Oviedo with the delivery. High and away. And Dow not taking the bait on that one. Swinging at the high stuff in the last at bat. Earned her a strikeout. Batting .500 today. The pitch, short choppy ball over to the second baseman and scooped up. Thrown over to first for the final out of the inning. So great composure on behalf of Eliza Creen Oviedo to come in. She had loaded bases and only 1 out. Was able to strike out Colleen D and force Sophia Dow with the ground ball into the dirt and holds Hingham to no runs in the 6th. St. Mary's 4. Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham 1. Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th here. Ashanti Pardia up to bat. Fouls that one back behind Gauthier. 6 strikeouts of the day so far for Shannon McLeod. Pardia, a single in her last at-bat, a strikeout in her first. Leading off here in the bottom of the 6th for the Spartans as they lead 4-1 over Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. The Cougars' significant hole to dig themselves out of. It was looking promising in the top of the 6th. McLeod's 3rd strike delivered to Pardia for her 7th strikeout of the day. Roma Braid, the catcher, up to bat next. Braid with a ground ball that reaches center field, and she'll have a single easily. Her 3rd time getting on base, a single in her last at-bat and a walk in her first. Riley Williams up to bat next for the Spartans. Williams struggling and getting on base today. Williams playing at the first base position. Showing bunt. Salona, the base runner for Braid throughout the game, and let's assume she's back there again. And that's her, pinch runner at first. She's got the wheels on her. I got a handful of stolen bases so far. One out, one on first for the Spartans. The delivery, a little high. And that pitch forces Williams to duck down for safety. Fouled back behind Gauthier. And making McLeod work for it. Late here in the game. Ball there. Riley Williams, the first baseman for the Spartans, awaiting the delivery from McLeod. Working to get on base. First time today. Fouls that one back. Same location. And Salona wants to run. You can see she's itching. I think the Spartans are going to be reluctant to give up any base runners on any potential steals here, unless it's the obvious. The delivery, she'll take her base. 2 on. 1 out here for the Spartans. And Riley Williams getting onto the bag tonight. Alyssa Solie up to bat next for the Spartans. We're at the bottom of the lineup here for St. Mary's. And another opportunity for redemption, as Solie has struggled to get on base. A strikeout in her first at-bat and a ground out in her second. Alyssa Solie. 1 out, 2 on, 1 in scoring position for the Spartans. Shot over to the shortstop. They're going to be able to throw her out at third. And it looks like she'll live. Bases loaded here. 1 out for the Spartans. Solie gets on first time today in the bottom of the Spartans lineup doing their due diligence here in the 6th inning. Back to the top, Brooke Maloney up to bat, her third at bat. And McLeod is going to get a little talking to, as the last time Maloney was up, she had a dinger, potential inside the park home run, held up at third for a triple. We'll get a pinch runner in for Solie. So bases loaded, 1 out here. Brooke Maloney up to bat, top of the lineup for the Spartans. And Salona with the wheels, able to get over to third base. Slides in just about in time. That ball not fielded cleanly by the third baseman for the Cougars. And it wasn't a matter of where it was just a matter of getting it. That error attributed to Sophia Dow. Brooke Maloney up to bat, rocket number 4, the center fielder. Takes her time to get into the box. I'm hoping to get Shannon McLeod thinking about the last at-bat that she had. Smoke one in the left field. The pitch, check swing. She decides to keep her bat from crossing the plate, but it won't matter as McLeod's pitch is straight down the middle. Deep foul ball. Very foul, very deep. She got a good piece of that one. Just a little early on the swing. Pitch low and in the dirt. Gauthier does a good job to keep it in front. Keep all base runners on the bag. Maloney awaits the pitch from McLeod. 1 out for the Spartans. Here in the bottom of the 6th. 4-1, Spartans lead. A wild pitch forces Gauthier to run back and McLeod to run up. All base runners decide to hang out in their safe positions on the bag. Good defensive effort by the catcher and pitcher for the Cougars to do so. Brooke Maloney wing the pitch, short, long ball into left center field. We got 2 base runners in. St. Mary's adds 2 more to the total late in the game. So Maloney gets a double after a triple, draws in 2 more RBIs, improves the Spartans' lead 6-1 here. Michaela Walker up to bat next. Walker playing in the second base position, and it's been a quite active position against these guys, the Cougars. Still 1 out. 7 strikeouts on the day for McLeod. Walker, a ground out in her last at bat, 2 strikeouts in her first 2. Looking for a little bit of redemption here. Just a bit inside, has to pull back from that one. And the advantage to these cooler May nights, no bugs. No bugs. So it's a matter of wins and losses. Deep fly ball in the right field. That one has a chance to go out, and it is. It's a home run, 3-run dinger for the Spartans. 5 in the inning here. Still looking at 1 out. Michaela Walker with a home run. Late in the game, bottom of the 6th inning. Spartans increase their lead. 9-1. And I think they may make a substitution in here at the pitching position, or maybe not. And it looks like they're going to keep McLeod in. So a bit of a drought for the Spartans in the 4th and 5th. Not so much here in the 6th. 9-1 over Hingham. 1 out so far. Gabby Marischal, the left fielder for the Spartans, getting her shot against McLeod yet again. Marischal with 2 singles and a ground out in her last at-bat. 2 stolen bases. And a couple solid outs defensively. Fourth ball delivered. Marshall will take her base on the walk. Lori Surreal up to bat. McLeod's pitch in the dirt. But Marischal thinks about it for a second, sticks at first. Marischal forced to get back to first quickly. As Gauthier trying to pick her off after a liberal lead. Surreal with a double and a stolen base here in the game so far. Couldn't get on in the fifth inning. Another wild pitch is going to result in Gabby Marischal taking second with ease. 1 out. 1 on and in scoring position for the Spartans. Already 5 runs this inning so far. Spartans are leading 9-1 over Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. Gabby Marischal is going for third. She'll get there after another wild pitch. So the Spartans, a little bit of insurance as they head in to the top of the 7th here at home. Lori Surreal waiting the pitch from McLeod. The delivery. Takes a strike looking there. McLeod earning her 7th strikeout this inning. That was the one and only out so far. Surreal gets a piece of that one, staying alive. Marischal sitting at third after 2 stolen bases on a walk. Free money for Gabby. The pitch, pop fly way far back into the Breed parking lot. Making McLeod work for this one. Poor kid's just trying to get out of the inning. Well, St. Mary's is trying to score runs. Who would have thought? The humanity. Whereas we may be classical guys. We got a Lynn team facing off. Deep fly ball. Looks like it's going to stay infield. Shortstop's going to come up for it. For what almost looked like an error. And made the adjustment. Forced the second out against Lori Surreal. Molly Beal there. Good adjustment off of the high fly ball. 2 outs. Gabby Marischal sitting pretty at third. The Spartans already 5 runs in the 6th. Olivia DeSessa up to bat for the Spartans. DeSessa struggling to get on base today. The pitch low and in the dirt. DeSessa decides to leave that one for the Birds. A lot of chirping coming out of that Spartans dugout as they can smell victory, but they're not out of it just yet. Strike delivered there by McLeod. Pitch fouled back along the first baseline. That one sounded expensive. DeCessa being up at bat means that the Spartans have worked their way through the entire lineup this inning. Not exactly how the Cougars were hoping to enter the 7th inning. High ball there, check swing. And it looks like they're going to get her for a strike. So the 8th strikeout of the game so far for Shannon McLeod. But not before the Spartans can add 5 runs to the total. At the end of 6, St. Mary's leading 9-1 over the Cougars. All right, top of the 7th here. Spartans boasting an 8-run deficit. Up for the Cougars, Aaron Crawl. Crawl struggling to get on base today. And Eliza Creen Oviedo, great composure, was looking at loaded bases late in the, I think it was the 4th inning, and kept the composure to get through it without giving up any runs to Notre Dame Academy. Creen Oviedo, the delivery. Short choppy ground ball rolls foul along the 3rd baseline. Aaron Crawl hoping to get on base here and keep the hopes alive for Notre Dame Academy. The pitch, short choppy ground ball along the 3rd baseline, rolls out of bounds before Padilla could get to it. Creen Oviedo delivering a 3rd strike, first out of the inning. Her 8th of the game. Spartans are heading to Cardinal Spellman later on this week. So they'll make the trek out to Brockton and play against the CCL rival. The pitch, just a bit outside. 1 out so far for the Cougars here in the top of the 7th as the St. Mary's Spartans are leading 9-1. Claire Ferrara up to bat once again for Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. And Eliza Creen Oviedo really making it tough for Ferrara to get on the base. Her 4th at bat of the day. Gets a piece of that one, sailing foul along the 3rd baseline, and that was the deepest doo we've heard from the St. Mary's sideline. If you're a Mad Dogs fan, yeah, I said it, Mad Dogs. If you're that old, if you remember going to those games, they had that giant glass piece of B-roll they would play over the audio, and that would be certainly appropriate. Stuck into my head for the rest of my life. Creen Oviedo gets the call from Braid. The delivery. Short line drive over to the shortstop. Sails past into left field. Will get hung up there at first. And just a little too speedy over the shortstop out of St. Mary's. Olivia DeCessa. She'll lay out for it. She certainly will. She'll jump in front of any one of them. That one a little too speedy, and Claire Ferrara getting on base late in the game, first time of the day. Bunt shown, stays fair, throws her out at first. So Molly Beal gets up and heads out. Two outs here, one in scoring position at second. And Shannon McLeod, the batter for Notre Dame Academy. Struggled in the last inning versus the Spartans, giving up 5 runs. Working to redeem herself here. Pitch just a bit outside the strike zone. Eliza Crean Oviedo gets the call from Braid. The delivery a little low. Crean Oviedo delivers. Pop fly infield. It's gonna stay on the ground. And Ferrara will be held up at third after the late single delivered by Shannon McLeod to keep the inning alive. Olivia Mainville, the next batter up for the Cougars. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position at third base. Notre Dame has an 8-run deficit to dig themselves out of. Short choppy ball over to the pitcher and thrown out at first. Crean Oviedo will walk away with the victory here. St. Mary's is going to improve to a record of 9-2. And they are going to head to Cardinal Spellman later on this week. Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham will fall to a record of 7-5. And they got Ursuline Academy next. It's been quite the game. St. Mary's is going to walk away with a 9-1 victory over Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham. I want to say thanks to those who have tuned in to Lynn Educational Television to watch Interleague High School Softball. I want to say thanks to our crew from Lynn Classical. We got KJ and Matt up in the perch today. And I want to say and remind those who are watching on YouTube to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for all the up-to-date information from the softball park here at Breed Middle School. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue from LETV, wishing you all the best.